Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and as you can see, my old Asus 360Hz monitor is now collecting dust. Lots of people have been asking in the comments what this monitor is, and I'm going to talk about it. So the monitor I have is the Acer AOPEN. It's such a bad name. I could rant about monitor name schemes. The fucking FBMIIPRX. What? I don't get it. But this monitor is 390 hertz and it's only $400. After tax for me, it was almost $450. I picked it up at a local micro center, and just the value on that is incredible compared to the old Asus 360 hertz I had, which is, as you can see, 630, 750 for this like slightly different edition. And I am not going to even call this video a review because monitor reviews by nature are very technical. Like, I'm 15 pages deep on an overclock.net forum. It's just horrible, the monitor shit. So I personally don't do it, but I can look at this stuff and I can know from my experience that I have had far better motion clarity on this monitor than I did on my previous Asus 360Hz panel. And it's just kind of crazy because this monitor is really cheap. You can find it on Amazon. It's the Acer Nitro. It's the same exact thing, but with different branding. It's also $100 more because it has the Acer logo as opposed to the version I have, which has a Fire Legend logo. And I've really read through the forums, I've watched the videos, these are the same thing. But also the backlight strobing technology on this one is called TVR. Can you see that? Yeah, TVR. It's called VBR on the other one. I'm telling you, this monitor shit is so weird. It could be that I'm just incompetent, not really involved in the hobby, but I swear mice are not that confusing. But talking about the monitor itself, as I said before, the motion clarity is so much better. Having backlight strobing, I'm not gonna lie, it makes the screen pretty dark. And it's not too hard to account for by raising your brightness in the NVIDIA settings or your in-game settings, but there's a pretty noticeable hit to the max brightness when you use the backlight strobing. At least on this version, there's probably like 26 versions of this monitor. But 390 hertz, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, that's useless. And really, compared to 360 hertz, you're not noticing the 30 hertz increase. Like, that's not why you're buying the monitor. I would recommend buying this if you want to experience like super high refresh rates at really not an outrageous price. I know I keep referring to $400 as cheap, because I mean, I just think it is for a monitor of this caliber. In terms of like the actual package you're getting, I like that the base is pretty small compared to the stupid Asus shit. I think I made like a complaining video about that. But it isn't the greatest quality, let's just say that. You know what they say, good enough is the enemy of great. And I'm sure that a lot of people who use the Zowie, whatever it's called, with Diac are going to ask, like, is this better than that? And realistically, I would say for most games, not most games, so if you play, like, Apex, Warzone, any, like, game that's really demanding and you're not constantly above 300, I would say, yeah, 240 hertz with Diac is probably your most reasonable option. But the reason I'm on this tweet is because the person who actually coerced me into buying this monitor, Huddled, has the Zowie 240 hertz, and he prefers the 390 hertz Acer AOPEN Fire Legend, whatever the fuck this is called. And as mentioned, this monitor goes up to 390 hertz, but it's really just a 360 hertz panel that you can overclock. So if you do get it, make sure to turn overclock on, because you need those 30 hertz, man. It's huge. And while this clearly is not a serious monitor review, I've been used to the input and the responsiveness of 360 hertz for around like 8 months now, I'd say, and this has been a noticeable improvement, like day one, right once I got it, and I've been using it for over 2 weeks now, and yeah, this is my endgame monitor. The fact that it's at the price it's at is really ridiculous. I think it's a steal. Even if you have your doubts, I'm fairly confident you would be proven wrong by this experience. For tracking scenarios, it stopped feeling like I was tracking a blur, and it was like I can really understand movements better, or I can see movements better, I guess. And for Fortnite, when I first tried it with backlight strobing, it felt like a slowed down version of a different game. The clarity while editing, for example, is crazy. But yeah, I'm not going to include any gameplay because really just everything I do on this monitor is a highlight, so there's no point in just like having a video that's entirely gameplay. Also, it's using an IPS panel, which is the same as my previous Asus monitor. Both of them have really good viewing experiences for like the Twitch streams and YouTube videos that I watch. I don't need anything on my monitor to be like super color accurate, so I'm just the wrong person to ask about that. But overall, having a super high refresh rate monitor and not having to deal with like bad ghosting on extreme overdrive, it's just all you can ask for. I think nobody can expect the monitor to be any cheaper than it is. If you live near a micro center, just fucking go pick one up. You can cop it on Amazon for $500. I'll leave the link in the description. And yeah, that's going to be all for this video. If you have any more questions, if it's like something I didn't really address, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer it. And I know I don't normally do monitor content, but this monitor is a bit too good, underrated if I may, for people to be sleeping on. So just check it out. And yeah, that's going to be all. That's my new monitor to the people who are asking. Like and sub if you enjoyed the video. And peace. Let me know if I should always do face cam.